Hi, my name is James Holroyd from PocketSurvey Cloud Surveying Software. Welcome to this short training session for our passive fire protection software. I'm going to show you how the Fire Spaces inspection software works and how to create your inspection reports quickly and easily. It should be about 20 minutes long. We call the app Fire Spaces because you can use it to inspect fire compartmentation and also to carry out remedial fire stopping works. If you're not already a PS Cloud user, contact us to get your low-cost trial, where you can get your first month's subscription at a reduced price. The first thing to mention about the app is that it's designed for mobile devices, but also works great on desktop computers. There's only one interface to learn, which looks the same on all devices, so you can use it on Apple or Android, tablets and phones, as well as desktop computers such as Windows, Mac and Chrome. With our uncluttered and easy-to-use interface, you can speed up your workflow tremendously and produce your inspection reports immediately after doing your site inspections. All our cloud-based apps look similar and have some common features. So, before we create a complete report from scratch, I'll briefly explain the common features running across all our PS Cloud apps. The button at the bottom left accesses all your reports, showing your building reports organised by town. At the top left, the main menu gives you access to valuable features such as the jobs calendar, location maps, jobs progress, users, client information, app setup features, help and support, and even the ability to export your data to spreadsheets. PocketSurvey has a unique feature that allows you to customize the menus and report structure within the app setup. We'll come back to that later on. So let's look at a Fire Spaces inspection I've already done to give you an overview of what comes out at the end. On the buildings list, I tap on a building and you'll see the front page photo and inspection status, and then below that you've got some buttons. We can add a fire space, we can copy the building information. There's a button to create the inspection report, and want to open the generated report. If we scroll down, you'll see which client this report belongs to. That is if you have multiple clients. You can turn off the clients feature in the app setup if you don't want to use it. The inspection details section shows the inspector, inspection date, inspection time, the type of inspection, followed by some free format descriptive notes. The building details section shows more information about the building. There's an optional section to capture general building information. Of course, the most essential part of the report is the Fire Spaces section. You will see all the fire space items inspected if you tap the View button. The items are grouped into satisfactory and non-satisfactory. You can add more fire space items using the Add button. Towards the end, you've got general building images such as floor plans, schematics, and any image you want to add to your report. If you want to make changes to the inspection, select the Edit button. Let's scroll back to the top of the building record. To create your PDF report, choose the Create Report button, and when the report is ready, select the Open Report button. Let's look at a typical report in more detail. The front page is branded with your logo and your address. Then you've got your front photo of the building, plus an optional trade logo. Then you get an automatic table of contents, which is all hyperlinked, so you can jump to the different sections quickly. The report contains quite a lot of detailed information, all created at a click of a button. Then you've got an introduction page. Now all these phrases can be edited in the app, but we'll come to that later in the app setup. The overview section of the report shows inspection details, optional client details, building details, and you've got a breakdown showing the status of all the fire compartmentation items assessed. If you've enabled the building information feature, you can capture a lot of general information about the building. All of this is configurable in the app setup. Then there's a summary of all non-satisfactory fire spaces. Then, for each item, detailed information covers location and description of each space along with a space reference, compliance status, then more details about the penetration, services, rating and materials in place or to be used, and any notes you've added. You can have up to 4 photos for each item. 2 for the current status and 2 for the unstopped situation. Each fire space item is shown in a similar format, showing before and after photos if required. Your clients will love the report format. You've got your disclaimer and limitations section. Bear in mind that all these phrases in your report can be set up within the app to customize it to your needs. The quality assurance statement will show the inspector's signature, and if you've chosen to use quality checkers, their details as well. At the end you have your floor plans and any additional building images you've included in your report. If you want to save your PDF report, tap the download button to save it to your storage area. Let's close the PDF report and get back to the app. We can return to the buildings list by tapping the buildings icon at the bottom left. So let's start a new Fire Spaces inspection to see how easy it is. Tap the Add button at the bottom right of the buildings list screen. You'll see a scrollable form with several fields to fill in. Most of these will be user configurable menus to speed up data entry. First, you can choose a client, or if you want to, add a new one. Let's add a new client organization. Type my client, then tap use. Then you can either add a client contact name or pick an existing one. You can store other information about your client, which is helpful if you want to contact your clients on site, and so you have a little client database. Then we can choose the inspector. You can have different classes of inspectors, like more powerful administrators. You can also have a client login where a client can access their reports via a client portal. Choose an inspection date and an inspection time, and then add some inspection notes if you want to. The inspection status menu helps you track the workflow of your reports. We use a color-coded pipeline approach where you go from schedule through to completed work. Remember, you can add this information on site or do it in the office if you prefer. Now let's add some building details. You have a place to add a building reference, or you can use a report reference instead. Adding addresses is easy since Google will search for the address if you start typing it in. You can import addresses in bulk using the import feature within the app. The building name is used to identify different buildings at the same address. Choose a building type. You can add an optional short description of the building. It's a good idea to allocate the report to a town, especially if you work nationwide. Enter other building details as required. Your reports will look much better with photos, and PocketSurvey makes this easy for you. So let's take a building photo. I'm going to choose one that I've already taken, because I'm using a desktop computer, but you would snap this on site directly from your camera. That's the photo added to the front page of your report. You use a similar approach when taking fire space item photos. When I choose Save the Building Record, you'll notice it's prompting us to choose which inspection type to use since it's a mandatory field. Choose an appropriate inspection type, then Save to add your report to the buildings list. Now we've set up the first part of the report. We can now inspect the fire space items in the building. Let's do that now. So we'll tap into the building record to view it, and you'll see the information we've entered so far. What we're going to do now is add a fire space item. We'll tap the Add Space button to load the scrollable data entry form. You should establish a location first, so you should choose a particular floor. And then you can specify a compartmentation area. You can tailor the list of locations to suit your needs in the app setup. Then you give it a space reference. We've set some up for you, but you can enter your own if you wish. Next, we enter information such as penetration type. We tick all the services through the penetration. Choose a penetration size or enter your own. Choose the required fire rating. Then choose the compartmentation status. There are two statuses to choose from, and each one works slightly differently. Let's choose not satisfactory for this example. And then we can choose from a predefined list of notes. Enter some additional free format notes if you wish. You'll notice we have an action priority and a list of proposed fire stopping materials to choose from. You can look through these and tick all the relevant ones. You also can search the list to make it easier. Let's take a current before photo. You can take up to 4 photos per space item, 2 for the before situation and 2 for the after situation. Welcome to that shortly. The app will automatically launch the camera on your mobile device. However, I'll pick one from my computer because I'm demonstrating the app on a desktop. You can take more photos in a similar way. So that's a fire space done. Choose Save. What we're going to do now is assume that fire stopping work has been carried out and we want to reassess the compartmentation area. Let's choose the building record and re-inspect a fire space. Scroll down to the fire space we want to re-inspect and choose the edit pencil icon. The existing information is shown. We'll just need to change the information as required. Change the status to satisfactory. Change the notes to work complete. We can keep the original action plan or clear the information if you wish. Let's move on to how the fire stopping was implemented. As you scroll down, you will see the materials used list has been automatically populated. You might need to change some of this information. We need to change the current image to reflect the fire stopping works. Let's go and do that now. The app will automatically launch the camera on your mobile device. However, I'll pick one from my computer because I'm demonstrating the app on a desktop. If you scroll to the end, you'll see the app has automatically inserted the previously taken before image for you. As usual, we choose Save. So that's how you re-inspect a fire space after work has been carried out. Once you've inspected all the items in your building, you can now create your PDF report. You tap into the building record and choose the more prominent Create Report button. you will be prompted to confirm. It takes about 30 or 60 seconds while the software generates the report in the background. You can continue to work on other inspections while you are waiting. The Open Report button will appear when your report is ready. So far we've covered the essential aspects of creating a fire stopping inspection report. As you've seen, it's quick and easy to do and produces a fantastic client report. But there's lots more to the software. There are other useful lists apart from the buildings list. For example, you can look at your reports in the spaces list, where you can see a summarized list of building reports. When you choose a building report, you will see all the compartmentation areas in that building organized by status. There is also a locations list where you'll see all the space items organized by location. Finally, there's an in progress list, which shows you all the reports you still need to finish. We're getting near the end of the demo now. Let me show you some standard features across all the list screens. These are accessed by the icons at the top right of the screen on the list screens. The spyglass icon lets you narrow down your list by using a filter. You've also got the tick icon, where you can tick multiple records, and then either delete or create a report for the selected records. You click the cross on the left to unselect. The curly icon at the far right is the synchronization button. You use this if you want to force synchronization from your mobile devices to your desktop and vice versa. At the beginning of this session, I briefly showed you some common features of all the PS Cloud apps. I guess you'd like to hear more details about these features. So I'm going to show you those now. The easiest way to get to the 3-bar menu is to tap the Home Buildings button at the bottom left. You will find these features when you tap the 3-bar menu at the top left. You'll see the common features running throughout all apps. So let's go into each one and explain in more detail. The Jobs Calendar lets you see your jobs by day, week, or month. If you click on a building address, you'll see the allocated time. You can then tap on it to view the building record. Let's go back to the calendar. You can always jump to today with the Today button at the top. Now let's look at the Maps feature. If you enter the postcode address, the Maps feature will show maps of all the buildings in your database. And as usual, you can tap to view the building record. If you want to get directions on site, you can scroll and then tap the View Map button. And this will launch Google Maps and allow you to get driving instructions by tapping the Get Driving Directions car icon. So that's the Maps feature. The Progress feature is handy for managing your workflow. The By Status screen on the left shows you the status of all your building reports. So if you tap Pending, you'll see all the pending building reports. Tap the collapse arrow if you want to go back up a level. The middle screen shows your building records in date order with the latest date at the top. You can view a record if you tap the middle of the form. If you tap the pencil icon, you can edit it. The screen to the right shows everything that still needs to be completed. With all these progress screens, you can add a new building record by tapping the plus icon. So that's the Progress feature. Let's look at the Users feature. As explained previously, you can have multiple types of users, such as an inspector only, an administrator who can configure the app, and a read-only client login. If you tap into a user, you can see details such as email, phone, address, signature, and so on. If you scroll down, you will see all the buildings they've inspected or quality checked. You can view the building record if you tap the middle of the form. If you tap the pencil icon, you can edit the report. So that's the user details. Let's back up a level. Let's look at clients. You can see all your clients in this list. If you scroll down to a particular client, such as Faster Surveys, you can see all your clients' details when you tap into the record. You can communicate with them on site with these buttons here on the right. You can also navigate to their address with Google Maps. If you scroll further down, you'll see all the buildings and reports scheduled or completed for this client. So that's the Clients feature. Let's go back to the menu. The most revolutionary part of all the PS Cloud apps is the App Setup feature, where you can customize menus and report sections to suit your needs. You will see several configuration areas. We're going to cover each one. A side note here, you'll see each area on your mobile device as a separate tab. The App Options lets you set some general aspects of your app. One thing you can do is turn features on or off. For example, you might want to turn off the Clients feature because you don't have external clients. If we locate the Show Clients feature, we can set it to No. The change will be immediate. To collapse the Show Features section, we tap the minimize arrow icon. Let's now look at the report fields. In the report fields section, you can set the information appearing on your report, such as company name, address, logo, and so on. Apart from changing options, you can also edit or add to menus used when assessing the fire spaces, such as fire ratings, materials, and so on. The Locations section shows you a list of pre-configured locations, compartmentation areas, and space references. If we want to add a new location, we can tap the large plus icon. The Inspection Options has other menus that you can edit similarly, such as Action Priority and Inspection Type. Just get in touch if you need further help with the App Options feature. Let's move on. In the middle of the screen, you have a place to modify penetration types with the pencil icon, or add view the penetration types by tapping the large plus icon. Don't be afraid of experimenting during your low-cost trial. We're always on hand to give you help and support. We can also control the report designed to customize the PDF report to your needs. Let's expand the report design area first. Tap into the disclaimer section and we see the phrases that will appear in that section of the report. Tap on the edit pencil icon to edit a phrase and make any changes you want. You can also hide a phrase from appearing in the report by toggling the show option from Y to N. You can also hide whole sections from the report. For example, if you wanted to hide the building info section from a client report, tap into the layout item and toggle the show option to N. That's just some of the very versatile report design features. Now let's look at how help and support works. The help and support screen contains handy little tips about using the app, organised into sections. You can expand each section to reveal more details. For example, if I tap on training videos, you can read some tips and access relevant links. That's the straightforward help feature. Now let's look at tables and exporting your data to spreadsheet files. Note that this tables feature will only appear when using a desktop computer. You'll see the main data tables in the app, such as buildings and space items, and possibly other tables depending on how your app is configured. Let's expand the building table and you will see a spreadsheet view of the data. You can filter this view using the spyglass icon to focus on part of the table rather than the whole. At the bottom, you can see icons for importing and exporting your data. Tables are an advanced feature, so don't hesitate to contact us if you want to know more. Now, remember to get your low-cost trial if you're not already a PocketSurvey user, where you will get your first month's subscription at a vastly reduced price. There's no obligation to carry on your subscription after the trial month, and you've got access to the full software, including free training and support. If you don't like the software after that, that's no problem. Just let us know and we won't bill you, and you can continue your search for a digital solution for your fire compartmentation and stopping inspections. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to learn more about any of our PS Cloud apps, please visit our website PocketSurvey.com, where you'll see lots of information about all our building and inspection software. So that's the PS Cloud Fire Spaces inspection software in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed the training session. Bye for now and see you soon.